Maya's cab slowed to a stop in front of the house she once called home. The evening air was biting cold, the kind that turned breath into smoke and fingers into stiff wood. She had not told anyone she was coming back tonight. Work had wrapped up earlier than expected, and she thought, perhaps foolishly, that a surprise might bring joy. After all, it had been weeks since she last held her little girl. But the moment her boots crunched on the icy gravel of the driveway, her heart stopped. There, huddled against the front porch in the flickering light of the frozen lamp, were two familiar figures. Her mother. Her daughter. Both trembling, their bodies pressed together as though clinging to one another for warmth the cruel night refused to give. The little one's lips were pale, her grandmother's hands wrapped around her like a thin shield against the winter. Maya's breath caught. She dropped her bags and sprinted forward. "Mom? Lily?" Her voice cracked with fear as she crouched down, pulling them into her arms. The child whimpered softly, too cold even to cry, while her mother's eyes brimmed with tears that had half iced on her cheeks. "They locked us out," her mother whispered, shame and disbelief quivering in her voice. "Said it was punishment. For waiting dinner. For talking back. I don't know anymore." Maya's chest burned as anger and anguish collided inside her. She looked at the closed door, the warm glow seeping out from behind its curtains. Proof of the life still pulsing within, where laughter and comfort were denied to the two most vulnerable souls she loved. Her fists trembled, ready to pound on the door, ready to unleash a storm of fury. But then, she froze. Her daughter's small hand reached for her face, weak but insistent, reminding her of the single truth that mattered. Lily needed her warmth, her safety, her steadiness. This moment was not about rage, it was about protection. Without a word, Maya wrapped her coat around both of them, her arms folding them into the cocoon of her body. She felt her mother shiver against her shoulder, heard her daughter's faint breath grow steadier, and something shifted inside her, an unshakable certainty. They would not be left to suffer again. She lifted her daughter into her arms, her mother rising slowly beside her, and together they turned away from the door. Neighbors' houses lined the street, lights glowing like quiet promises. Maya's pride screamed against the thought of knocking, of exposing this cruelty to others, but her heart knew better. Tonight was not about pride. Tonight was about humanity. She crossed the street and rang the nearest doorbell. For a moment, silence. Then the door cracked open, and a woman she barely knew, someone she'd only ever exchanged polite nods with, took one look at the shivering trio and flung the door wide. "Come in. Please, come in." Warmth enveloped them. A blanket appeared, a cup of tea, soft hands tending without questions. Maya's mother wept openly now, not from cold but from relief. Lily finally smiled, a tiny flicker of light returning to her eyes as she sipped warm cocoa. Maya sat there, stunned at how swiftly kindness could transform despair. Strangers had done in moments what family had failed to do in years. They had chosen compassion. And in that living room, surrounded by warmth not just of heaters but of human hearts, Maya realized, sometimes home isn't a place at all. It's the people who refuse to let you freeze.